Welcome. Thank you for joining us to celebrate individuals and groups who help make Whatcom County a thriving community built on equity, social connection, participation, and opportunities for children, youth, and families. This event celebrates that good news truly abounds here. I'm Christy Sletty. I use she, her pronouns. I am honored to be the Executive Director of Whatcom Family and Community Network, WFCN, the proud host of the 23rd Annual Ken Gass Community Builder Awards. Annually, this event celebrates our abundant community. It calls on people to look for and notice the gifts in our community, to lift them up through nomination and join us here to admire creative community solutions and significant investment of life energy to address complex concerns that children, youth, and families face. We thank each of you who took the time to nominate tonight's honorees. Tonight, the youth, adults, groups, and businesses and organizations honored receive this once-in-a-lifetime award. Yet we recognize that their efforts have been underway often for months, years, or decades without accolade. And after tonight, the work honored is often sustained across lifetimes or leaves legacies upon which others will further build. While we miss connecting with you face-to-face at the Bellingham Cruise Terminal's Dome Room, eating, laughing, and singing, this year the opportunity to share this with so many more people across the nation is exciting. Honorees are able to share this recognition with family members between Bellingham and Boston. Hello, Boston! From many locations, we join this virtual event across Whatcom County and the nation. In Whatcom County, we acknowledge that we are on the ancestral homelands of the Coast Salish peoples, who have lived in the Salish Sea Basin throughout the San Juan Islands and the North Cascade watershed from time immemorial. I wish to express our deepest respect and gratitude for our neighbors, the people of the Nooksack tribe and Lummi Nation. We thank them and lift gratitude for their enduring care and protection of our shared lands and waterways. Now, acknowledgement by itself in no way replaces authentic relationship building. It's merely one small step toward informed action to counter the doctrine of discovery and support larger truth-telling and reconciliation with our Native nations and neighbors. We're also so excited to be able to invite more than a maximum occupancy crowd. This year, truly everyone is invited. The program will be available on the internet into the future, so no one has to miss it. We are pleased to share this opportunity to light up a cold winter night with lights of human hope that help balance our human concerns. This premiere presentation would not be possible without our sponsors. Presenting sponsor, Group Health Foundation. Silver level sponsors include Boeing Employee Credit Union, Peace Health, St. Joseph Hospital, Veritas Media. Our bronze level sponsors include Joy Brown Mull Yacht Group Real Estate, Whatcom Educational Credit Union, Larson Gross CPA, Cool Runnings Construction, and Savvy Bank. Now, I would like to welcome Whatcom Family and Community Network's President of the Board, Shane Steger. Shane, over to you.
Hi. My name is Shane Steger. My preferred pronouns are he, him, his. WFCN is a local 501c3 nonprofit organization founded 31 years ago by Dr. Ken Gass. Dr. Gass met many children and families in his pediatric practice whose needs went beyond what could be addressed in his office. He gathered people together across sectors: healthcare, education, government, social service, law enforcement, and business to imagine a better future, where professionals supporting kids and families could seamlessly connect to opportunities, skills, resources, and supports that would elevate their well-being. We gather here in honor of that vision and the many people contributing to that ongoing work every day across our community. Today, Dr. Gass and wife Francie continue serving to make Whatcom County a healthier community for children and families. We expect you are watching. Thank you both for your model of community building and compassion. I would like to acknowledge WFCN's Board of Directors. I wish to thank these individuals who provide governance to carry on the mission of the organization. Our board currently seeks directors to serve 3-year terms. If by the end of the night you'd like to know us better, contact us at info@wfcn.org. I also wish to thank the staff and volunteers of WFCN who dedicate skills, talent, love, and energy into breathing life into our mission, which is to promote the well-being of children, youth, and families by convening and supporting communities to build their capacity. Our staff works across the county to increase healthy youth development, prevent youth substance use, promote mental well-being, and reduce exposure to trauma through adverse childhood and community experiences. Thank you to our generous sponsors. Now, are you ready for some good news? Back to you, Christy.
Good news indeed, Shane, fills the remainder of our evening. If you're here to support and celebrate specific individuals, we want to bring your attention to the sets of honorees to be recognized in each segment. Prior to beginning each set of awards, we will list the names in order of presentation, and you will hear the following sound. For set 1, awards will be presented in the following order. Honorees are Whatcom Mountain Bike Coalition, Whatcom Dispute Resolution Center Supervised Visitation Program, Not If But When, Books for Young People About Death and Loss, Joel Zamora, and Emerson McCuin. Now I turn it over to our board of directors to present the awards.
I would like to honor Char Waller and Chris Mellick. Both of these people are responsible for bringing awareness and enjoyment of biking to youth and families in Whatcom County. Although these two community-minded individuals work for different organizations, they often together create opportunities for families to get involved in biking. Chris Mellick runs bike rodeos at schools across Whatcom County through his program called Ride, Run, and Dig, which provides youth with a variety of basic skills, obstacle and balancing bike courses, overall bike awareness, and abundance of fun. Chris has also worked with youth groups building and maintaining bike trails on Galbraith Mountain, ultimately creating a lasting imprint on our public trails now and for future generations. When asked about his impact of youth, Chris joyfully stated, "Bellingham's a huge spotlight for mountain biking, and it starts with the kids." Char Waller serves as the Director of Education at Whatcom Mountain Bike Coalition. The coalition's goal is to offer all youth living in Whatcom County the opportunity to explore mountain biking. Char has played a key role in bringing mountain bike rides, mountain bike camps, and after-school clubs for all ages to explore the magic of Galbraith Mountain bike trails. Char was also instrumental in working with the community to provide mountain bikes for youth who may not have access to their own, giving youth from all demographics the opportunity to ride. Char and Chris worked together to promote bike programs around Whatcom County. Together, these two pave various paths for youth to gain access to bikes, mentorship, teamwork, leadership, and trail accessibility, all through a shared love of biking. Thank you, Char and Chris, for supporting our youth and the bike community for many years. The benefits you bring to the youth and families in Whatcom County are stronger, sustainable, and structured because of your efforts and passion for all youth.
Janne Sleeper and Rebecca Vigoren are being honored for their committed work in the Whatcom Dispute Resolution Center's Supervised Visitation Program. When the COVID-19 pandemic resulted in quarantine and prohibited face-to-face meetings, Janne and Rebecca worked tirelessly to transfer WDRC's Supervised Visitation Program to an online platform. Through quick and resourceful work, they recruited volunteers and organized technology to rapidly pivot the program from in-person to online. Janne and Rebecca's work has been essential in supporting families' access to the Supervised Visitation Program and allowing families to maintain connections between families, children, and their non-residential parents. Keeping these connections going benefits both parents and children because they provide a sense of security during the stressful time. The WDRC provides safety parameters for supervised visitation that focuses on the children developing safe and nurturing relationships with their non-residential parents, separate from any conflicting circumstances or situations. Janne and Rebecca's work is noble and beautiful, providing the opportunity to keep family bonds together in a neutral environment. Our community is blessed to have Janne and Rebecca transforming the lives of families daily.
Thank you, Mason and Natalia. My name is Rich Helke. I'm the treasurer of WFCN's Board of Directors. The Not If But When program uses literature to help young people develop skills and context to make sense of death and loss. The program is a collaborative work between the Palliative Care Institute, Western Washington University, and the Whatcom County Library System, spearheaded by Marie Eaton, Sylvia Tagg, and Tom Bartholomew. The topic is approached through books and stories, providing a safe and comfortable context to have these important conversations. The need is evident. 1 in 7 children have lost someone important to them or have suffered other losses. Not If But When has created an easy-to-use website that highlights books about death and loss, categorized by age appropriateness and other thoughtful groupings. The Not If But When team also leads community presentations with educators, librarians, parents, healthcare workers, clergy, and others, providing a transformative experience to those giving support and other resources in times of death and loss. The group also has future plans, including encouraging publishers to provide more of the books in different languages, expanding access across additional formats, enhancing website searches, and recording their community presentations to make them more widely available. Thank you, Marie, Sylvia, and Tom, for your efforts to enhance our community understanding of this important but often unthought of or ignored topic.
The next 2 honorees both are employees of Northwest Youth Services. They are honored tonight individually for the service provided to teens and young adults ranging age 14 to 25. Joel Zamora has found his place in helping youth and young adults build resilience and recover from crisis, access critical services, and begin to set future goals for safety and stability. An integral part of the Northwest Youth Services Positive Adolescent Development Program, Joel works with at-risk youth and young adults, providing emergency, short-term housing and assisting youth with anything from registering for school to building relationships with their families. Joel goes where youth and families are and helps them foster healthy personal relationships. He connects with youth and guides them to be better citizens by showing them how they can make a difference in their community. Joel loves being able to connect with youth and is touched when individuals who have gone through this program come back and tell him about their successful lives. Recently, a young woman who went through the program asked Joel to escort her down the aisle at her upcoming wedding. Joel has had a lasting impact on many youth and young adults who have gone through the program as well as their families. Joel fosters positivity in youth by working in community alongside like-minded adults, volunteer leaders, community members, donors, and staff. Joel is receiving this award because he goes above and beyond to make sure youth are heard, supported, and honored, and he does it with empathy, compassion, and care. Emerson McCuin was the founding coordinator for the Ground Floor, Northwest Youth Services program space for young people experiencing homelessness. He has continued to lead the program and related programs since January of 2019. The Ground Floor creates a welcoming, non-judgmental space for youth to foster healthy relationships and in a community where they can thrive. Emerson was an integral part of establishing and running the 3-month experimental emergency youth shelter during the winter of 2019 to 2020. He was able to work with the Bellingham First Congressional Church to establish a 35-bed shelter during the critical winter months, including home-cooked nightly meals provided by volunteers. Emerson also manages the Critical Transition Program to help youth learn about building healthy relationships and to connect them with resources. Northwest Youth Services recently hired an individual who successfully completed this program. Emerson continues his work to build alliances and to collaborate with other community organizations. Even amidst a global pandemic, Emerson has continued to lead his street outreach team in providing emergency services, relationship building, and long-term support services for youth in crisis. Emerson stated that the most fulfilling part of his work is building systems that provide youth assistance and working to create safe emotional spaces where youth can feel supported. It is an honor to present Emerson with the Community Builder Award. I now welcome Angela Harwood to join us. Angie?
Good evening. I'm Angie Harwood, she, her pronouns, and a member of WFCN's board. Northwest Youth Services is near and dear to my heart. I applaud their work. As a board member of Whatcom Family and Community Network for the last 6 years, I have the unique perspective of seeing how WFCN has a unique role to connect people, organizations, and resources to elevate collaboration and partnerships aimed to solve complex social concerns. Across tonight, we'll introduce you to some of the capacity building work happening in Whatcom County. Did you know that WFCN brings community together to address youth substance abuse prevention through Whatcom Prevention Coalition and the Mount Baker Community Coalition? Coalitions meet monthly, plan and implement annual prevention science strategy in the community, including education, outreach, resource dissemination, and funding of evidence-based programs. Coalitions work with Whatcom County Health Department and Washington State Department of Health to increase community health and decrease the use of alcohol, tobacco, vape products, marijuana, and other substances that can impact healthy brain development during teen years. Opportunities such as mountain biking, learning to garden and cook, and spending safe time with trusted adults is a part of healthy development. To support youth substance use prevention locally, your tax-deductible donation in any amount can be made at www.wfcn.org/donate.
Thank you, Angie. It is now time for our second set of honorees. Awards will be presented to communities and schools of Whatcom Skagit counties. Kaatri Jones, Blaine School District. Alvaro Vicente, Ferndale School District. Bellingham Public School Educational Technology Coaches. And Michelle Goldman with Bellingham Public Schools. Without further delay, I welcome board member Alexa Tucker. Alexa, tell us about communities and schools.
Thank you, Christy, I think. I'm Alexa Tucker, Secretary of Whatcom Family Community Network's Board of Directors. I use she, her pronouns. Tonight, I'm honored to present this award as I have the good fortune to see the work of communities and schools firsthand as a teacher at Shuckson Middle School. Communities and schools of Whatcom and Skagit County connect students in Bellingham, Blaine, Ferndale, and Mount Vernon school districts with vital resources and positive relationships. Youth and families are supported and empowered to stay in school and achieve their goals. Communities and Schools is deserving of a Ken Gass Community Builder Award for their efforts to increase access to services for children and families by leveraging community resources to increase local planning and connection. The Executive Director, Adio Salazar, says he works with a group of passionate, focused, solution-oriented people with a deep understanding and love for kids. Communities and Schools leads with a strengths-based approach, working with and for the community to identify unique needs and leverage resources to make a difference. The team is informed by best practices and works to build bridges out of poverty. They bring the community into schools in an effort to increase connection among all community members. Becky Hurst, Program Manager of CIS Whatcom County, said, "We build partnerships with other local service providers in the region and connect youth and their families to needed services to help mitigate the barriers they experience. The community building work CIS does is unmatched. They provide and connect individualized support to youth and families to help youth succeed in school and in life. The staff build meaningful mentoring relationships with youth who have experienced trauma, hardship, and a variety of barriers that affect their ability to succeed in school. Congratulations and thank you for all the work you have done in Whatcom and Skagit communities." Now here is Dietrich Grimes.
Kaatri Jones is honored for her leadership to increase support and skills and leverage resources to develop the mental health counselor program in the Blaine School District. Kaatri, currently a mental health counselor for the Blaine School District, serves children in kindergarten through 12th grade. While serving for the past 12 years as a school counselor, she saw many children having difficulty accessing mental health supports and was inspired to complete the education and supervised hours needed to earn her independent clinical social worker license. Kaatri diligently and concurrently drafted a proposal to the school district to create a permanent mental health counselor role. Kaatri shares gratitude for the local community groups who responded to the call she rallied to develop for the local health counseling program, including the Blaine School District, Blaine City Council, Whatcom Health Department, Whatcom County Council, Whatcom Community Foundation, and WICU. Kaatri recognizes that school is one of the few places where children of all backgrounds, races, and beliefs can gather together. Yet that dynamic can also bring stressors to children. The program Kaatri creates aims to provide immediate and local support for children and staff to reduce stress and increase resilience. Kaatri is also an active leader participant in the Birch Bay Blaine Thrives effort to uplift protection factors for kids in the community and decrease risks leading to substance abuse and poor mental well-being.
Thank you, Dietrich. As a native Spanish speaker from a farm-working family, our next awardee understands the importance of supporting English language learners. This award goes to Alvaro Vicente for his long-standing work tirelessly developing new programs to support Latinx students and families. Alvaro returned to Ferndale, his home high school, intent on improving school experiences, and that's exactly what he's done. He advises the Mecha Club, using a student-driven approach to help young people draw on their talents, skills, and cultural heritage to emerge as leaders. Club activities include organizing and running yearly Martin Luther King school assemblies, mentoring elementary students, and fundraising for and hosting graduate celebrations for seniors. Alvaro says that student identity is empowering. If you have strong roots in who you are, you can do anything. And he helps his students live that truth. He developed a cultural awareness class and helped to design the Ferndale District Newcomer Center for ELL students. As a result of these efforts, the graduation rate for Latinx students has reached 75%, nearly double what it was when he started. Superintendent Linda Quinn says Alvaro is a brilliant role model for students, a cherished lifeline for families, a relentless advocate for equity and inclusion, and a genuine difference maker in our community. For his transformative work in Ferndale schools, it's my pleasure to give a 2020 Community Builder Award to Alvaro Vicente. Inspiring Alvaro, thank you. Alexa, over to you.
At a time when technology has become an everyday necessity, the EdTech coaches of Bellingham Public Schools have stepped up to move students and teachers from their brick and mortar building to a digital learning community. These coaches have supported staff, students, and families in the transition by developing sound protocols to help our communities make this large change. When asked how they were able to tackle such a large task, the EdTech coaches resoundingly answered that it was because they belong to such a strong community here in Bellingham. In the Bellingham School District, the EdTech coaches are teacher leaders with a desire to support their colleagues in integrating technology to strengthen best teaching practices. As a team, they work collaboratively to roll out technology initiatives, brainstorm new ideas, problem solve, and work with educators to deliver powerful instruction with strong support. They work as a team to elevate family engagement, foster collaboration, and support culturally responsive teaching to impact our community. To the EdTech coaches, congratulations and thank you for the work you have done in our community. It is my pleasure to present you with a Community Builder Award. During the pandemic, technology and the ability to adapt in order to stay connected to people shows itself repeatedly over this evening. It is no small task. Transitions can be hard without the need to learn new skills, applications, and ways to facilitate conversation, learning, and engagement. Again, I'd like to introduce Angie Harwood.
Our next recipient, Michelle Goldman, is a leader creating community at many different levels, with many groups. Her work ranges from engagement with middle school youth and families to work with colleagues across Whatcom County, all of it centering the concerns of students and families. Because of her belief that community is built out of relationships and every student deserves fulfilling relationships through their community, Michelle builds specific spaces to uphold students and families. She's the founder of the Shuckson Middle School Multicultural Club, bringing together students of color in a safe space to be themselves as they explore cultural heritage, address their concerns with racism, and generate ideas for social justice. Students create projects to showcase culture, and the club hosts an annual family potluck where they break bread, share traditions, and celebrate with music, including karaoke. Michelle is a founder of the Bellingham Educators for Liberatory Action, a group of professionals examining systems within education that aren't supporting Black, Indigenous, and students and families of color, with the goal of helping those systems evolve. She's also a founding member of the Whatcom Youth Pride Coalition, which provides family-friendly programming for LGBTQ+ youth. For her successful investment to develop community for this wide range of groups, we recognize Michelle with this 2020 award. I would like to introduce you to the newest director of the board, Mason Gray.
Hey everyone, I'm Mason. I use he and him pronouns. Thank you to the many educators and those who support them. Our school systems have the unique ability to reach a majority of children in our community. It is crucial that schools and communities work together to connect children and families to many opportunities and resources available. Mad Hope Youth Suicide Prevention Program is one such opportunity and resource. Mad Hope is a partnership between Bellingham School District, Whatcom County Health Department, and WFCN's Whatcom Prevention Coalition. WFCN staff manages and coordinates the peer-to-peer education program that visits middle school and high school students in all 8 school districts in Whatcom County. 6 20-minute sessions promote mental well-being, and help youth know what to do when they or their friends are feeling anxious, depressed, or considering suicide. The program also is available to adults and community groups upon request. Currently, Mad Hope seeks volunteers between the ages of 14 to 24 and adults with clinical experience. If you are interested in promoting mental well-being in youth, please contact us at madhope@wfcn.org. To support youth suicide prevention locally, your tax-deductible donation in any amount can be made to wfcn.org/donate. Thank you for your generosity.
They never give up. The heroes of hope. They never give up. The heroes of hope.
Welcome back from our break. Since 2015, the Jeff Morgan Legacy Award is presented to an individual who has demonstrated long-standing service and sustained commitment to promoting community, connection, and change. This year's winner joins past honorees Jeff Morgan, Astrid Newell, Amy Hockenberry, Daryl Hilaire, and Jeff McKenna as the 2020 Legacy Award recipient. This year, we honor Anne Marie Reed. With respect, I introduce Renee Swan-Waite, Director of the Board, to share about tonight's Legacy Award winner.
Anne Marie Reed's Legacy in Whatcom County focuses on safe, healthy parent-child bonds, supportive parent-to-parent connection, and creation of community education systems that center childhood as a precious time worthy of protection and investment. The aims are that every family and community have access to skills and support to ensure each child develop the healthiest brain, body, and spirit possible. Trained as a pediatric emergency room nurse at the University of Washington School of Nursing, Anne Marie has worked in numerous pediatric healthcare settings, including Seattle Children's Hospital Emergency Department, pediatric and neonatal intensive care units, general pediatric service, and in a private pediatrician office. Upon moving to Bellingham over 33 years ago, Anne Marie worked in the emergency room at St. Luke's Hospital. Though rewarded, she longed to work with families and empower them with skills to care and protect children. She began to teach infant parent CPR classes at Bellingham Technical College in 1988. Anne Marie continues to teach this course in at least 6 classes each quarter. She has developed a guided curricula and programming for parents caring for children ages 0 to 5. The program dedicated to educating and helping families during formative years offers support, instruction, behavioral modeling, and discussion so parents and primary caregivers are equipped to positively nurture children as they grow to develop in their full potential. Anne Marie encourages families. She teaches to develop a peer network as they bond with one another during class sessions. This network is incredibly valuable because it provides an outlet for families to share ideas, concerns, and information with others in like situations, thereby empowering them to help one another in a safe, relaxed, inviting atmosphere. Sue Wu, a past participant in the program and a current early childhood educator who witnessed Anne Marie's impact firsthand and over time, says, everyone who went to the classes Anne Marie hosted had confidence and a group of supportive parents they could call on as a result of being in her classes. Anne Marie is warm, engaging, and respectful. She has an inherent ability to connect deeply with both children and adults whom she truly loves. For these reasons, she is contracted by the Bellingham School District to work with the staff and families in their Promise K and Grads program. Promise K is an early entrance kindergarten program for children with limited preschool experience, and Grads serves teenage parents and their children. In both of these programs, Anne Marie encourages children and parents and instills self-confidence, as well as the skills needed to build healthy families. Anne Marie is a community builder and has earned the Jeff Morgan Legacy Award for her commitment to community well-being and connection for over 32 years. And now, please prepare for our third set of awardees.
The next set of honorees include Sandi Heinrich, Whatcom County Community Helpers; Noah Williams, Community Action Response Information Network, Cayen; Rebecca Cayen, Columbia Valley Wood Chipping Events; Laura Welker Consulting, Aging Well Whatcom; Betsy Freeman, Dementia Support Northwest; Amy Margolis, South Fork Valley Community Association. To begin this set is Rich Helke.
Sandi Heinrich emits and grows community resilience. Resilience, often defined as the ability to face adversity by drawing on safe relationships, skills, and connections in the community, helps others bounce forward through hard times. As an event planner of end-of-life celebrations, what do you do when a pandemic strikes and puts a stop to your work and throws a wrench in the life of others? In Sandi's case, she reached out to help any way she could. Inspired by a podcast called Finding Fred about the life and work of Fred Rogers, aka Mr. Rogers, she sparked an idea to help people who could not go out during the current stay home, stay healthy order. On Friday, March 13th, she simply created a Facebook post suggesting that people with needs and people who might help connect in that space. By the end of the weekend, thousands of responses had been generated from community members looking to connect. Sandi organized this effort, which grew beyond running errands, but also to provide food, supplies, prescriptions, face masks, pet food, and human connection for a myriad of items and services. She and a cadre of dedicated volunteers connected and coordinated the effort across Whatcom County through Facebook, a toll-free hotline, and a web page. The operation geared down from its spring and early summer peak of activity, but continues to meet community needs. Sandi says the effort will continue as long as the community wants it done. Thank you to all who made and continue to make this effort a meaningful and timely response. We recognize and thank Sandi for her leadership and initiative to give the sparks of compassion a place to strengthen. Mason, off to you.
Noah Williams is commended for his ingenuity and resourcefulness in the development of the Community Action Response Information Network, also known as Cayen. Cayen provides neighborhoods, municipalities, and counties with a community network of online dashboards that increase local problem solving and coordination with a focus on human-to-human relationships and community development. Noah, a recent high school graduate from Ferndale, genuinely wants to uplift local community. Using technology, planning, and communication skills, and an internationally developed model, Noah collaborated with a local mentor and community lead volunteers to create Cayen for Whatcom County. His mission with Cayen is to help build resilience within each household, neighborhood, and city. Disaster relief and community effectiveness are the core components of Cayen's design model. It has been used during the current COVID-19 pandemic and has endless potential for neighborhoods that would like to engage with it. Noah's efforts through Cayen provide practical, efficient, and community-accessible resources which will change the future around how life-saving information will be shared. In Noah's own words, the most fulfilling part of Cayen's contribution to community has been meeting people with a like-minded view of the world, who understand they have a responsibility because they have the skills to make the world better. Seeing that happen and actually work on that and getting things done is truly rewarding. Community capacity building has everything to do with the connection and the relationship. The more we empower individuals at the most local level, door to door, block to block, neighborhood to neighborhood, the stronger our community grows. And when the winds of adversity blow hard, we have nearby networks that can bolster our resilience.
Thank you, Mason. Speaking of winds of adversity, the last several summers have impacted our local health and safety due to wildfire and threat of wildfire. Our next award winner is honored for an innovative preventive strategy. Rebecca Cayen, after learning of the devastation from wildfires in California in November of 2018, recognized a need in her community of Maple Falls to remove yard debris after frequent windstorms. She devised and implemented a prevention plan to coordinate wood chipping events to reduce wildfire risk in an environmentally responsible way. Since then, she has coordinated wood chipping events in the Kendall Maple Falls area twice a year in the spring and fall. Each event requires collaboration and coordination of several agencies and volunteers, as well as outreach. Recently, the effort added a roving chipper for people who aren't able to bring debris to the events. So far, this effort has removed 83 tons of debris and drastically lowered the fire danger in the community. Additionally, Rebecca has served for the last year and a half as a member of the Mount Baker Foundation Partnership. This role allows Rebecca to help leverage a variety of support to bring community hopes for children, teens, and families to fruition. Most recently, she brought together residents to find new, emerging leaders to continue the work of that partnership that COVID-19 had brought to a standstill. She's also a member of the East Whatcom Community Council. She and her daughter, Hannah, give rides to elderly neighbors and picks up food and prescriptions for those without transportation. She takes time to connect and show compassion to neighbors. Rebecca shows hard work and human kindness that leads to a safer and healthier community. Thank you again, Rebecca. Now over to you, Renee.
Laura Welker's Community Builder Award recognizes a variety of initiatives she has designed, convened, and facilitated to improve access to healthy living for all Whatcom County residents. Recently, her community building work included coordinating and supporting the Aging Well Whatcom initiative, funded by the Chuckanut Health Foundation, and consulting to grow the Whatcom Community Healthcare Workers Network. The roles she invests in require her to be the glue that holds many details in place and bring together representatives from a wide variety of agencies and services to think collaboratively together. She is masterful at leading meetings, providing vision, but also leaving open space so that others can contribute ideas. She gently guides to keep all on track to bring set goals to fruition. In that way, she is a weaver of community hope, and she brings an ethic of care to her work. A basket maker is persistent as she weaves the strands of cedar, beargrass, and raffia to make something useful and beautiful. There is practice and poetry in basket making. Likewise, Laura is a weaver as she intertwines people, ideas, and energy to improve community health. As a young Western Washington University student studying in Latin America, Laura witnessed the impact of community health on local residents. This learning experience became a lucky accident and provided Laura with a different lens and a deep commitment to public health improvement.
Aging is a family and community issue. Elders are precious. They teach and nurture our children. Across generations, we share hope, pain, love, and healing. And we teach our youth respect and compassion by elevating the needs of our aging family, friends, and neighbors. Aging issues do impact families and children. As one example, dementia can impact relationships, economics, and mental well-being of all family members. Luckily, in Whatcom County, we have Dementia Support Northwest as a resource. Betsy Freeman is celebrated for preserving support services at Dementia Support Northwest in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Betsy, as the primary caregiver for her late husband, personally knows the value of supporting families living a life intertwined with dementia. She actively gives back to those who gave her so much support at Dementia Northwest. In 2020, Betsy leaned harder into the work to keep Dementia Support Northwest functioning through the pandemic challenges. She developed skills to become the group's tech wizard of sorts and facilitated and coordinated the necessary tech shifts in the online support groups so the moderators can do their jobs easily. The community of caregivers and those living with dementia know the value of staying connected and receiving consistent support. As well, Betsy initiated plans and physical distancing protocols to provide safe, in-person connections for the most isolated families, individuals, and volunteers. What touched my heart is the cultivation of freedom that arises in the lives of those Betsy helps bring together. One example is a group of gentlemen living with dementia who meet via Zoom. Dementia Support Northwest convenes a safe space for them to express thoughts freely with calm guidance and open topics of discussion. This sharing creates freedom in the participants' hearts and affirms self-esteem. Betsy is a beacon of joy and light. She ensures connection to build resilience in the lives of those who seek to thrive and enjoy the here and now moments of a life with dementia. Dietrich, I pass this over to you.
Amy Margolis is truly a foundation and a pillar of the South Fork Valley community and has been so for over 50 years. She and her husband Jeff moved to the South Fork Valley area from Massachusetts, where Amy was previously a music teacher. She moved to Northwest Washington with the goal of finding a place to be close to the land and raise their children. They found a secondary goal in business by opening Everybody's Store and were instantly drawn to the local community and its pioneer spirit. In fact, the Van Zant Community Hall, which opened in 1951, was previously a two-room schoolhouse. Amy and Jeff took over the primary responsibilities of the community hall in the late 70s as it had transitioned to a community club and center. In this role, Amy was responsible for maintaining and growing the Van Zant Community Hall, making it available to the local South Fork community to use for family and community events. Over time, many improvements and additions have been made to the community hall, including adding an adjacent park in 2001. Even now, as the community hall's use has been limited due to COVID, many purposes can still be found in it, such as an outdoor book exchange. Amy has connected people of the South Fork community in so many ways over the decades and has given of her time and talents. She was instrumental in the founding of the South Fork Community Association, a community association dedicated to the preservation of the area. She and Jeff have started local radio stations, and she has shared her love of and musical talent by performing in the Whatcom Symphony for 33 years. Of all of her successes, she is most proud of raising her children, including Beth Anna Margolis, the author of Uplifted Down Syndrome. Amy was properly described as the conductor who orchestrates the ability of friends and families to become acquainted and informed throughout the South Fork Valley. A quiet leader, loved and respected by her community, she epitomizes what community building is all about.
If you have been inspired by the stories of community members tonight and the power of community capacity building, we want to give you the opportunity to support work like this across Whatcom County. Whatcom Family and Community Network is currently convening efforts with partners like the Opportunity Council to develop a stronger resource access system and the Behavioral Health Youth and Family Coalition to better connect local practitioners in the youth mental health field. WFCN provides training on resilience, the science of hope, on how to prevent and mitigate impacts of adverse childhood experiences, and facilitates a variety of community processes. Together, we increase community hope for a better future. Community capacity includes the belief that the future can be better, that we will live in an abundant community where everyone has something to contribute, and that we are better together than apart. To donate tonight, please open a new window on your computer and in your browser type www.wfcn.org/donate.
The following individuals will be honored in this segment. REACH trainers, Exploring Equity and Cultural Humility. Teen Advocacy Group, Domestic Violence Sexual Assault Services. Laura Plout, Common Threads Farm. Emily O'Connor, Lydia Place. And Generations Forward, Policy and Advocacy and Funding Team. And Family Council. Renee, you have the next honor.
Heather Jefferson, Masa DeLaura, and Julie Mommerman make up a team of local trainers presenting the REACH curriculum to our community. REACH stands for Respecting Ethnic and Cultural Heritage and is a critical awareness and education focused on understanding equity and increasing cultural humility. REACH is committed to systematic social change and the development of schools and communities which honor and value human diversity. In their workshops, Heather, Masa, and Julie invite community members into an open-hearted, lifelong commitment of self-exploration and individual growth, while gently encouraging participants to become aware of one's own values and beliefs. They create space for difficult but necessary conversations. They provide support and guidance for deep conversations that lead to honest and trustworthy relationships. This hopeful work supports increased connection among community members at the local level, bringing together residents to collectively improve their local community. The personal working relationship between Julie, Heather, and Masa demonstrates the respect, love, and joy they have for one another and for the work they do. Heather is a member of the Lummi Nation. She's a mother, grandmother, and educator committed to providing high-quality education with humility and grace. Masa, a facilitator, trainer, and educator in the areas of childhood education, culture, and diversity awareness, has a deep commitment to the equity, inclusion, and social justice. Julie has worked in the early childhood education field for 30 years, implementing programs in public school, community college, and public library settings. She is dedicated to reflective and shared learning to address inequality. The Reach Center provides training as consultants for governments, school districts, and other social and community services in Whatcom County and surrounding areas.
It's always thrilling to see young community builders be recognized for meaningful service in our community. One hallmark of a healthy community is its ability to recognize and address difficult issues. Our next group is an inspiring example of community members coming together and taking action to increase community health. This award goes to the Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Services Teen Advocacy Academy and its leader, Shoshana Bass. This amazing team prevents and reduces domestic violence and sexual assault by providing inclusive education, outreach, and advocacy for teens of Whatcom County by teens of Whatcom County. With 1 in 3 youth experiencing forms of abuse before they turn 18, this work is vitally important. One Academy project, the Teens Against Abuse Club, designs peer education focused on healthy relationships and consent. The group, including members from 7 different Whatcom County high schools, has created social media messaging and social norming campaigns, as well as physical art installations. Ms. Bass says the best part of working with a group united around an important issue they believe deeply in is celebrating the feeling of making a difference and changing the world. For creating a community better equipped to end abuse, it is an honor to give this 2020 Community Builder Award to the DVSAS Teen Advocacy Academy.
Growing youth to be leaders in their own lives is a great start to a healthy community. Our next honoree grows many things, including youthful appetites and healthy food. What makes Laura Plout, Executive Director of Common Threads Farm, stand out in our community is the dedication she has to motivate and teach students, families, and communities about nourishing foods, sustainable diets, and a care for the environment with a seed-to-table approach. Laura heads up Common Threads Farm team of mostly AmeriCorps volunteers who work in schools across 5 local school districts by using gardening, cooking, educating, and eating to help children and families create joyful experiences and make healthier food choices. They also implement teamwork, learning healthy habits, trying new skills and foods, providing resources to families while also making countless other contributions to the community. In addition to their work in the schools, Common Threads provides after-school clubs, summer breakfast and lunch clubs, and spring and summer break camps. Despite COVID-19 halting direct in-school student involvement, Laura has adapted Common Threads methods and now reaches students by providing online cooking classes. Thanks to her work on partnerships with the Bellingham School District Central Kitchen and the Good Food Promise Project, Common Threads has continued to garden, harvest, and help provide critical nutrition and fresh food to families in need throughout the pandemic. When asked what fulfills her about her job at Common Threads Farm, Laura stated, "When kids eat better, they learn better, act better, and feel better. It's such a privilege to get to help make sure these kids from all walks of life have access to healthy food and food education." Thank you, Laura, for your vision on investing in our community by creating a foundation that not only serves but values the importance of strengthening relationships between families and food. Having hope and experiencing well-being requires security to have one's basic human needs met. In many ways, mental well-being is a social justice issue. Children and families need access to food, shelter, and a variety of social and health services.
Emily O'Connor, Executive Director at Lydia Place, is a phenomenal advocate, leverager of resources, creator of safe spaces, and key player in collaborations to uplift and center the community to find solutions that work for vulnerable children and families. Lydia Place is a local nonprofit providing parenting support, life skills and family connection classes, behavioral health counseling, resource referrals, and education and advocacy services, all with the mission to end homelessness. Emily is honored for collaborations resulting in increases to safe shelter and available rental units for homeless families. Emily added physical properties to the Lydia Place umbrella with Baker Place, the Clock Tower building, a place for dads, and soon-to-be-built Hart House, a complex that will increase both living units and a childcare center. Each project requires high-level skills to orchestrate support from governmental entities, civic organizations, businesses and corporations, foundations and private donors. Emily and the team she leads can take pride in evident progress to address housing insecurity for families. Beyond her leadership role at Lydia Place, Emily sits on over half a dozen community groups, including Whatcom County's Homeless Strategies Work Group, Housing Advisory Committee, and Coalition to End Homelessness Steering Committee. In these spaces, her heart of an advocate shines. Emily very strongly believes that children are core to the successes of our community and that they are the most underrepresented and vulnerable of our community members. Children are inherently invisible in most societal challenges, and they have little to no voice to bring their issues to light. This is why Emily and Lydia Place's contributions are so important. While Lydia Place responds to the crises that impact families burdened by poverty and homelessness, they use stories of those affected to highlight the impacts on all family members, including the children. Emily provides a voice for the voiceless and encourages all of us to do the same. It is Emily's goal that each member of the community use their voice to speak for all children, but especially children in at-risk situations. It is also her goal that the community acknowledge and identify inequality in the community as women, children, and people of color are disproportionately impacted during times of crisis, such as COVID-19. Emily knows that all of us were children, and it took the support of the community to help us develop. In her role at Lydia Place, Emily fights daily to encourage her community to help develop the next generation and the foundation for our future.
Thank you, Dietrich. And now for our final award of the night. Some efforts in the community are upfront and obvious. Some take place in the background and are less well known. With this award, we recognize one group's efforts that operate in the background, but certainly deserve our attention. Generations Forward is an umbrella effort of the collaborative community work between the Policy, Advocacy, and Funding Action Team and Family Council. Generations Forward's purpose is to promote the well-being of Whatcom County's children and family and close opportunity gaps associated with race, ethnicity, income, and family adversity. February 4, 2020 was a monumental day for this vision and for Whatcom County children and families with the passing of the Child and Family Action Plan by the Whatcom County Health Board. This action plan recommends pursuing new funding methods that increase the resources for crisis prevention, prioritizing children and families when changing or creating county policy and funding decisions, and providing resources to improve access to family and behavioral health services. The plan was the result of thousands of hours of researching, planning, creating, and advocating by Generations Forward volunteers since its formation in 2017. Their advocacy keeps the vision for Whatcom County's children and families in the forefront of elected officials and community decision makers. Thank you to Generations Forward for your oh so important and dedicated work.
Congratulations to all of tonight's honorees as we bring the 2020 Ken Gass Community Builder Awards to a close. I end with a healthy dose of gratitude. As awards were delivered this year in a unique way, we met beautiful people with loving spirits. Many commented that they were surprised and didn't expect the honor. I took joy in saying that one beauty of community building is that ordinary treasures become extraordinary when you add love, compassion, and kindness. 2020 honorees, you inspire. Thank you. I send appreciation to our sponsors. Presenting sponsor, Group Health Foundation. Silver level sponsors include Boeing Employee Credit Union, Peace Health, St. Joseph Hospital, Veritas Media. Our bronze level sponsors are Joy Brown Mulliott Group Real Estate, Whatcom Educational Credit Union, Larson Gross CPA, Asa Kelly, Savvy Bank, and Cool Runnings Construction. Thank you to our friends at Van Wingerden's Greenhouse, Garden Spot, Sheridan 4 Points, and Six Sigma TV. I'm grateful for a supportive board of directors and an amazing dedicated team of employees and volunteers. WFCN does little outside of partnership or collaboration. We respect our many community partners, coalition members, and donors. We do awesome together. A huge shout out to Veritas Media for helping produce this virtual production and help keep the spirit of the event. Whatcom Family and Community Network relies on community engagement. If your contribution at this time can be monetary, we welcome a donation. We want to send you off in our tradition of ending with a song that is good for your soul. Thank you again to Jeff Morgan and Richard Schultz. Remember, solutions are in the community. We all have something to contribute. And look for the good news. Have a great night.
May the sun always shine on your journey. May the road be gentle and free. And like the clouds bring the rain to the valley, may the path lead you safely home to me. Let the wind always be at your shoulder. May the way always come to find your feet. And if you fall, let my love be your pillow. May the path lead you safely home to me. May the night always find you in its keeping. And may your days all grow from fertile seed. May your burdens be light enough to carry, and may the path lead you safely home to me. Let the wind always be at your shoulder. May the way always come to find your feet. And if you fall, let my love be your pillow. May the path lead you safely home to me. May you never feel that there's no one. May you always accomplish what you need. May you always remember where you're going. And may the path lead you safely home to me. Let the wind always be at your shoulder. May the way always come to find your feet. And if you fall, let my love be your pillow. May the path lead you safely home to me. Let the wind always be at your shoulder. And may the way always come to find your feet. And if you fall, let my love be your pillow. May the path lead you safely home to me. May the path lead you safely home to me. We're heroes of hope. What every heart needs, they just do what it takes. They always believe. They stand beside you and go for broke. They never